I haven't told you about this place. We built it, we had to break it down.
Do you struggle with landguards?
You can never intimidate me. I am not strong, but I'm very strategic.
McBernard Akpabey, the mind, the machine, and the mystery behind MCB Studio Rentals, Ghana's largest studio equipment rental company, valued at 7 figures plus.
I suck a lot.
You don't think about the fact that they have to put food on their table.
That is the whole interesting part. I'm thinking about the opportunity you are collapsing for the next 10 people to have the same food on their table.
After an A.M.A. and landguard dispute that nearly destroyed everything, McBernard came back obsessed, perfecting every millimeter of his gears while scaling his business with one strict rule.
If life is a joke, if a thief comes to your house, offer him a check.
One of the dangerous things as a leader is when you've not grown your capacity to be able to manage at a certain level. How have you prepared yourself to keep growing as a leader and not collapse this company?
My people know if I fail to lead, I am to step aside.
We dive into why most photographers and creatives fail, what it takes to build the #1 studio rental company, and discuss something he's never shared before.
2008, 2009, Kasra was buzzing for one thing, Sakawa. Bro, I've seen money. When I was starting, people spoke against it. My mom spoke against it. My dad spoke against it. My auntie spoke against it. And it was so sad. Chief, if you ever see this video, your actions...
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Talk, Not a Quick Rise podcast. The conversation where I saw with young Ghanaians who are making a difference. Those who are not talking, but are cooking. I'm sure today you notice we're in a different set, this is not our usual Joy News studio. And that's because for the first time, I get to talk to a CEO of perhaps one of Ghana's biggest rental companies. This guy does not know, but our very first episode we recorded with 1000, we recorded it in his studio. At the time, it used to be around La Paz, Bola Junction area. And from our first episode to now, you can testify that we've grown. And guess what? They have also grown. And they've done a lot of wild stuff. And so today, I'm just here to learn. As somebody who is also aspiring to build my own studio, I get to sit with somebody who has been there and done that. I introduce to you McBernard. McBernard, welcome to Talk No the Quick Rise podcast.
Thank you, Derek.
Why are you giving me a lot of humility vibe? Because the way you're a big guy, I'm not expecting you to be, Why are you humble? Sincerely, that's why I want to start.
I'm a big guy, but then my works are big. So I always put my works out there, but I live a very calm and comfortable life and impactful one as well. So everyone who knows me knows that I push more for impact. And talking about impactations, then it still speaks about the works out there more than the person I am. So you might not see more of me, but you will see more of my work. And that alone is quite, I feel happy when it works out that way.
Wow. I'll tell you, normally when we're, preparing to have a conversation with somebody, we have a research team. So we dig and find things that nobody knows about. And guess what? We're trying to do some digging on you. We really struggled because in as much as you do a lot of big stuff, you don't have a lot of stuff out there, your personal stuff out there. And so for somebody who does not know you, perhaps see you for the first time, please, who is McBernard? Where did you come from?
That is quite a very interesting topic. Who is McBernard? Because a lot of times I've always asked myself, who is McBernard? I found out McBernard is even a very different person from me. McBernard is a very strong person, not strong in strength, but strong in the mind. Very resilient to the struggles of life, coming from a place of integrity and understanding of how humans are supposed to behave just for good, to be, like a simultaneous affection around the whole cycle. So if you know McBernard to be that type of gentleman who wants everyone in this circle to see the light and to go along with it. And this has been something that I always channel, regardless of wherever I find myself. You might see McBernard today holding an iPhone, tomorrow holding a young phone. Today in suits, tomorrow in shorts, doing the filter works. And this is the type of guy you might conflict with because you just do not know why or who McBernard is.
I like the philosophical bits of it, and you seem to have a very strong mind game. Mind game in the sense that mentally you are strong. You are not loose. You are not. Where does that come from?
Life experience, the life challenges, the knocking when there is no door, the pushing against all the odds, the having the faith in what I see and believing in God. This is where it all comes from. And if someone tells you it's an easy journey, you should clap for them because you clap to their stupidness. Because life is an intentional effort. And that is something that we all have to understand and accept.
Wow. I already like this. At the beginning of the conversation, my mindset is being shifted. Okay, the average iPhone 17 costs about how much? This is not an iPhone 17, by the way.
Around 22,000.
22,000, see, that's a regular iPhone 13. If you bought a camera before, or you've asked for the price of a camera, you will notice that iPhones are even cheaper. Cameras can be as expensive as 70,000 Ghana cedis. And cameras sometimes come just with body alone. You'd have to buy what they call a lens. I'm explaining to you that you have to buy a tripod, which is a camera that's going to sit on, microphones, lights, sound. It can be crazily expensive. And so for me, I sit with a lot of appreciation to the fact that how are you able to afford all of this greatness, especially with your background? So let me know the background. Then I can probably tie it. Okay, he's a rich guy who found gold when he was young, or he had to fight through the odds, or he had to knock where there were no doors.
Okay, so Derek, why are you picking on my words?
No, that's that.
Okay, so I come from a very humble background, but with a very supportive family. It's never about you having it all, but it's about you having a family that is going to support you and hold the fort for you. With my educational background, it has been a bit of, should I say, like a roller coaster kind of thing. We jumped from schools to school because we used to stay in a compound house. And from compound house, if you have to move to other houses, after your time has expired, you have to try and get a new place and all of that. So from one school, I think Good Shepherd to Tower Preparatory School.
Which Good Shepherd? The one in La Place?
No. Around Malam. Okay. And then to Tower Preparatory School in Bawi, and then to the My Child International School at Kaswa. Yeah, one of the big, okay, not big, but best schools to ever go to because of our, the owner of the school who is called Grandma. He actually instilled a lot of discipline in us. So Charlie, it did a great thing for us. And from there we had to write the bowl BC. We were blessed to have some good schools like Infante Pen. I started at Infante Pen and I was sacked. So yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so I ended up at Edinaman Senior High School because I was so stubborn but intelligent as well. So I ended up at Edinaman Senior High School in 2013. No, sorry. I finished there in 2013. And I was very good at sports as well. I play hockey, hockey player, yeah. So I used to play for like Black Sticks, yeah, for Ghana, and the whole like Central Zone as well. We used to play hockey. I was stubborn, yes, no doubt about it. I love to knock at where there is no door, because the more you knock, it's going to like create effect on the wall, and it's going to crack, and that is going to be a door. So I was very stubborn and all of that. I excelled, so I was admitted into Legon in 2013. I finished in 2017. I did my postgraduates. I finished in 2019. I didn't do NSS as well. Yeah, could you imagine? I applied. I mean, I had a bank. I went there, they turned me down. So I was supposed to go back to NSS to repost again. I went there, I saw them flexing, and I was okay, that's cool. So I went out and I was like, I'm never coming back here again. So yeah. So I've had, a very impactful educational life. Yes, but I'm never from a rich home. We are doing well. Not well, but then we are okay. We don't beg to eat. We are okay. We have a supportive like family that even if our parents do not have our uncles, our aunties will come in and support. I am a very great testimony of my aunties and my uncles pulling in the weight for me to be at where I am today. And these are some of the things that has really impacted our journey so far.
Wow. Yeah. One of the things that amazes me anytime somebody tells me their story is how, and by God's grace, I've had the opportunity to sit with some very impactful people. And there seems to be one thing that runs through all of them, their storyline. One of them is they all didn't start from a blossom background. And even for those who came from rich homes, they had to own their lives and do something about it. Another trait you notice among a lot of entrepreneurs, some of your colleagues, Franklin John, who I've interviewed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Franklin is also stubborn. I had a conversation with the CEO of A.M.A Watches, Anthony Jamafe. And Anthony also said the same thing, that there's this stubbornness he had. Not this way. Ghana, we tend to take stubbornness for disrespect.
Yeah, because there's a thin line.
Yeah.
Very thin line.
A very thin line, And Anthony makes the point that to be a successful entrepreneur, you need to be stubborn. And so he gave me a series of accounts of his stubbornness that is literally the same things that have got him to be a successful watchmaker in Ghana. One of them is not believing the status quo, like accepting things as they are. So I want you to touch on the bit about getting sacked from in front of him. I know it's a story that nobody knows about. When I was in senior high school, I wasn't sacked. When I was in Form 1, there was a rule. I broke the rule and I was suspended for 2 weeks. So I've experienced not being the best of students in school. But I want to know that story because it will probably tie into, because the CEO of A.M.A, which is Anthony Jamafe, he wasn't sacked, but he was in a workplace where he noticed that he was the misfit. Things don't just go his way. And it's like, he thinks different from everybody. He used to work in a hotel and he has an idea, they shoot it down. Until one day he realized that I don't sort of fit here. Why were you sacked from in front of him? What was a stubborn story?
Okay, I wouldn't go into it. I am not going to go into the story because it's so embarrassing. But looking at a gentleman who grew up from Kaswa, 2008, 2009, Kaswa was buzzing for one thing, Sakawa. And it was more like an infection around all the youths. Bro, I've seen money. I've seen young folks in cars. I've seen a lifestyle that is all about you being stubborn, you being like having a dreadlock, you like sagging your jeans down, you trying to be like you're a tall guy, like Kajikini, like trying to be rude, mean and all of that. And I take it to school. Form 1 boy, but my head is way above them. I've seen money. Yo, Charlie school Nekra is because of my mom. It's not for me, bro. I have to finish and go back to the streets because, when you learn by observation, you are exposed to an environment of like fraud boys. And those are things that we knew. Okay, so my mind wasn't like settled at all. 1, 2, 3. By 4th week, I was called DC.
Oh.
And guess what?
Tell me.
I went to A.M.A where no one even knew that I was in A.M.A. It's a full story, bro. Embarrassing one, but yeah. Yeah, you rent parents. And can you rent a parent? Can you rent a parent?
Well, to go and stand in for you as your real parent in the school.
Yeah, can you rent a parent? Bro. Yeah. Bro, Charlie. If you ask anyone from Infantipim, August School, Agri Memorial, will tell you, these things are normal thing. The fun is they put indigents in that area. They are open to help, assist. Oh, auntie, maybe patcher, family kusini. Where age you want?
Wow. No, you intend to pay the person?
Yeah, we pay them 15 cedis.
Yes, sis.
Saturday night, 15 cedis, bro. Yeah, life happens. Even at such a young age, we are smart on streets. But we know that if it goes back home, you'll be lashed. Why did you leave Infantipim under 3 weeks?
So, but I think it reaches a point your parents would probably get to find out, or they never found out.
Bro, if I could hire parents,
what can't you do?
What can't I do? But you can escape and come to for entertainment with them.
Wow.
They sack you, but I don't think they take away your school fate, right?
Wow.
And see, the most interesting thing is that we were new, Form 1's new, aber fresh. So we don't know ourselves that much. I don't know if you do me. So we don't know ourselves that much. So we can always fit in and fit out.
Wow. Now let's go back to Kaswa. I grew up in Soto Momanjo. So when you mentioned the Sakawa theme, I can't relate. Because when I was so young,
so I just started in around 2012, where I remember I was actually following the trend on that thing, Sakawa, because I was a good guy in that industry.
There's a shocking statistic I want to draw your attention to. The data shows us that about 80% of those of you here who come to consume the rice we cook here have not subscribed to the channel. I promise you, the team and I are going to work hard to bring you conversations that change the narrative. And that's why we're bringing you diverse conversations from entrepreneurs to footballers to journalists to creatives. We're going to bring you a lot more. But the caveat is that the bigger the subscription, the bigger the guests. There are some guests that we are trying to reach out. The only reason they are not minding us is because we don't have the numbers. And to help us do more, by subscribing to this wherever you consume it, especially on YouTube. This is Talk, Not the Cook Rice podcast. As you know it, yeah, we cook rice. Don't talk about plans. Charlie cook.
How does somebody then, in quotes, from such a, in quotes, horrible upbringing background where you see messy stuff, you're not seeing good examples, then sort of shifts to then become a streets guy? Because when the MCB rental is mentioned, we don't think of it as a crooked business. It's you just know these people are serious, they know what they are doing. And I know people who work closely with you, Nana Gaspol. He was my senior in Ofreveni Senior High School. We even did an Akpabey commercial last year. I directed, he shot, we've worked on a lot of impressive projects together. And so, at what point did the ruggedness and the stubbornness then stop for you to become a focused guy? What happened?
So I wasn't a Sakawa boy, one, which to clear that line.
Yeah.
I was blessed to have a laptop at such a young age. Those work that we have to do, like those like fake stuff, like documentations and all of that. So I was open to that. So I was doing it for them and then free. But then when they like cash out, they just tip me in.
So you help the boys?
Yeah, do the the fake stuff.
Yeah.
I did a car, like a passport, like plane tickets, like those things. Yeah. At a very young age, I was able to learn and edit and all of that. So I've had a passion for this whole flyer, like graphics. I see things to look like nice in my eyes, like kind of thing. So, so I was among them, but I'm not part of them. Yeah, I was still straight, but I was exposed to things. So, I had higher expectations about life at such a young age. So, I'm not part of them, but then I was among them. Yeah. So, yeah, like, wow. Yeah.
No, I'm very encouraged by this story so much because, people are definitely shaped by their upbringing.
Yeah.
And looking back today, do you think you are grateful for the fact that you were not among them? Or you weren't a part of them? Or do you that some lives sometimes feel that Charlie Kamina I should have been
No, I didn't ever see myself as a person who would live a wayward life. No. I had a clear part in my life. I had a very clear part in my life. So as I said, even whilst I was stubborn in school, I was very intelligent. I'm that type of guy who would come to class and come in full and even stop you from trying to learn and then like concentrate. And when you go and sleep, we did street, we did learn hard one. And this are things that is going to shock you to know that at the end of the semester or term, be from 1st to 20, Monday among of it, what could drop be down be either English, but apart from English, any other thing that you could use sense as a Monday like first. So those things are things that has been in us to excel in whatever thing that we do. And even with MCB, it has been with us from the very onset. So my people can tell you that I do not ever compromise on excellence. When they are happy, I'm even sad because I'm still seeing flaws. And these are things that they have held on from infancy up to now.
Oh. And where were your parents at the time when you were still around? Because I was a little stubborn, but of course not this. You're my senior in the game. And oftentimes my mom would be praying over us. Are you on airway? Yeah. So before my mom beats us, she has this tradition. She'll put a scarf on her head. She'll pray that it's a bobovon that is using you. So she'll pray and cast out the bobovon. Bobovon is evil spirit.
Yeah, evil spirit.
When she casts out the evil spirit, then she'll let you know that the evil spirit use the vessel. You must do with it, and she'll beat us. So I could say that my parents' strictness, discipline, helped straighten my path. At the time, you were a little ragged and all of that. Were they concerned? Were they, how?
Funny enough, my parents, they were not strict on us. We had our, free will to do our own thing. I don't know why we chose to not go astray. Honestly, I don't know, because thinking deep down into it, I had the chance to do whatever I wish to do, to play ball, to waste my life around. But it's never about parents. I think with all my siblings, it was more like a personal choice. And I think we equally influenced ourselves. Because those on top were not doing some things. So why do you go and do some things? Like for instance, all my sisters stayed at home until they got engaged and left. Our last born is still at home. Okay, but now girls has are staying on their own and all of that. Even it took me like extra boldness and some few lies and NSS trying to use it to leave the house, because it's never that easy. And that is something. So I feel like we were being trained among ourselves, okay, as like siblings. The eldest is doing well, so we looked after her, and after her, the next one too has picked up and is doing well. So in our mind, it may also follow that same line. We go make them. It about me. So it's never about our parents. Our parents could go for like trek for weeks, like months. It's just us, our like grandmom. You don't know a grandmom is so soft. Oh, Jaisa. Oh, but like the Ewen Vice and Sal, you up. But at the end of it all, it's saying strictless or kind of heck but so over cop. It about me. So it's quite more of the influence that we had among ourselves. And that is what actually built us up. It's never about strictness.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that. Then you went to Legon. I also went to Legon, but you are my senior. I completed 2020. And what course did you study in Legon?
Psychology, adult education, and study of I think like religion also. Yeah, study of religion.
I like the way it's like you don't even remember because you dropped it in first year.
Yeah, I dropped it first year.
Great. What hall were you in?
Oh, bro, don't ask me that question, babe. I didn't go to Legon. I went to Commonwealth. Wow, I didn't go to Legon. I went to
Commonwealth. Were you part of the boys who used to do the
bro? We in, bro. I would lie to you. We in.
Did you ever strip naked?
No. But you are influence. You see, this is like Commonwealth. It's a hall of excellence. It's a hall that's been taken, push whoever you are out there and help you shape it. I knew I couldn't strip. I knew I actually couldn't sing those like dirty songs. But trust me, I had my like whistle. If I stand and I'm blue, whoever is in the hall, no gamma mouth. So we were not there, but we found our niche and then we put our influence. We were very influential.
How were you called when you were in Commonwealth?
This question, is it a wild name? Vanda Sean de Fou. Sean de Fou.
Where does that come from?
Because I was disciplined. Whoever is going overboard, you putting me in place. You, Sean de Fou. So when they call me Sean de Fou, then I tell them make you know because you're meant for day.
Hi guys, this is B Great. I'm in the new space of MCB Rentals to have the revamped experience, guys. Follow me and let's see what they have there. Let's go.
At MCB, we provide great customer care service every step of the way. Your booking matters, so we ensure an efficient process to get you the best gear. From booking to setup, we've got you covered. MCB Studio Rentals. Redefine your work.
I remember my first, when I was going for my orientation at Grey Hall, I used to be at Equafo Hall, challenge.
That's about all.
I saw this coming.
Oh, sorry, but
I'm fine. It's okay. It's okay. From the common,
it's quite based on those like gays.
Yeah.
Saba boys. So
the power is better than Saba.
Yeah, way better. That's way better than Saba. But like they're all gays. Trust me.
No, that's why, let's be honest, we cannot take, in as much as Commonwealth may have its excesses, the profanity in the song, the stripping during what's it called? Is it match? It's not called match. Parade. The thing you guys, the flute, it's not flute, I've forgotten the name. Where you match from your
root match, yeah.
It's called match, okay, yeah. Apart from all the excesses that may come, like this.
It's also called like procession.
Procession, that's the word I will give away here. Let's be honest, Commonwealth has given Ghana some of the greatest leaders we've ever had.
But honesty is the truth.
Okay.
Who is the gentleman of the land?
A Commonwealth boy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Why are you getting super excited about this cohort? It's okay, it's fine. I give it to you. I'm not denying it. I accept that, and part of the things I didn't like about what I loved, of course, Dave, it made you bolder. You were not scared of anything. In my class, when I was in final 400, the chief vendor was in my theater arts class.
Nice.
What's this guy's name? Why have I forgotten his name? And this guy would come to class. I mean, before he became chief vendor, he used to be a very sociable guy, affable guy, very intelligent guy. And
I like that word, intelligent.
yeah, and in fact, that's one of the traits I'm told you guys look out for before choosing a chief vendor. He's got to be extremely intelligent. And he would come to class, and of course, he had to get his hair cut, his hair undone. So Sakura, how do you say Sakura in English?
Bowed.
And he would come to class with a few bodyguards. People come and check out where he sits and all of that. But one thing I noticed, even from a distance, was Khalifa. That's how we used to call him.
No, sorry, Chief Khalifa.
Sorry, Chief Khalifa. I mean, before he became chief, and
He's not Chief Khalifa.
he stays for life.
He stays forever.
Okay. Chief Khalifa used to be a very cool guy. But after he became chief vendor, we couldn't associate with him again.
Is it partners to not associate with him?
What?
You chose to not associate.
No, when he comes to class, he comes with people wait for him. When he settles, after the class, they take him away. So we don't even get to,
So you can go and knock and talk to him. He's a human being just like you. He's on a position. He rules a land. And that's it. But then he's an accessible gentleman that you can always go and talk to me. And it's even now way wiser than he was then. He's our chief vendor. He lords over us. And so shall it be.
okay. Brings me to the point that, do you accept that there were some excesses with being in Commonwealth? And I was telling the story of when I was going for orientation. And, you walk past the Great Hall, and there used to be a path by Commonwealth, and the girls will be passing by. And even for the boys, they'll bully you with words by, right? You can, but if you were a girl and you were probably wearing red, you know the drill.
Coco.
They'll put this guy and these ladies too. And even at the time I was in 100, I used to feel very bad for the girls. Because, you go every day, Monday to Friday for the orientation. Do you agree that there may have been some excesses with? You don't agree?
Everything in Commonwealth is perfect rule. I'm never lying to you. Go and check that sort of pastors we have in Ghana who went to Commonwealth. They didn't go to school. They went to Commonwealth. You see, let me tell you something, guys. Commonwealth is a hall that do not speak for you. They tap on what you want to do and help you do it well. And that is all about the hall. They tap on your talent or what you feel like doing, and they help you do it.
So how has Commonwealth helped you, McBernard?
That's a question. So I told you that I love to rent, right? I rent stuff, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you my first business that I started in Commonwealth. So
I'm listening.
what comes into your mind if you hear MIS?
GPA.
But when you come to, in our time, when you hear MIS, McBernard in a room services.
You're serious?
Yeah.
What were you doing? What were you selling?
I rented my inner room. Spec Debts had a 50 inches TV, had an Xbox 360, put some bricks under the bed to make it go high. Put some blue stickers on the balls to chill colors, get some micro labs.
Was it an inner room?
Inner room. Got a micro lab, put some stickers on the wall. Bro, 30 Ghana for shorts.
Wow.
60 Ghana for a nines. You can call Apple and ask them. Apple was actually a petty.
Okay.
Make money for that side. Hard money.
So boys would bring girls.
Not boys from home. Even girls are going to bring boys from town and come and be there. Yeah.
And where were you sleeping?
Oh, bro. I really did work. If I get like 60 Ghana, we are go buy chokam with the outer boys. All of us chopper. Abi, all of us are eating. But then I save like 20 Ghana for side. You never have some free petrol on you. Apple two petrol. And anyone we are really go with the support our hustle. Trust me, I had coins from pens. TF had crazy coins. I wouldn't lie to you. Lots of coins. But when you know all weeks was our top selling times.
So people were having sex in the room. It wasn't a boiler.
Yes, so I had paid the janitor. I think at that time 5 Ghana a week, and then he comes to wash our bed sheet a lot. So when we are going to sleep, we had a bed sheet. I think it was blue. But if a pint is coming, we had wine and then orange on the bed. So they come and use the wine and orange. And we have our bed.
I get the business bits of it, but didn't your brain some part of it feel that I'm enabling sin? Like people are
I don't know what they do there, bro. I do not know what they do there. What I know is I am offering accommodation for people who are stranded, and I am solving the problem. Instead of them to take an Uber for about like 20 Ghana to go to a long and far place, you have a proper accommodation. I mean, expect one. And aside that, I've also paid guys to go and play 5 for you when your spouse or your like girlfriend has to go and use the, I should be and so bro, it was a business structured.
It brings me to the point I asked this guy, Derek Akpabey, Connected Minds podcast, the host, that is there something like clean money in business, or you just make money? Do you focus on making the money and not care about whatever it takes to bring the money?
I think you are not seeing the scope of my business. Wait. Whenever we have 4 weeks, people from outside campus come to campus.
Yep.
They don't have accommodation, right? They are stranded, right? I up the confusion, right? And that's it. It's never, we are not offending anyone or like causing pain on anyone. Like I said, I had a micro lab. It's a speaker. So when you intend to sleep well, you play a loud song. It doesn't attract anyone. And that's it. So please.
I get it. I'm not even, but I think it's a concept I'm actually trying to find out, because some people will say, Charlie, just make money, whatever it takes, like Charlie. And that's what probably may empower thieves. That's Charlie. So, and I'm speaking to you now as a businessman, a successful businessman. What do you think? Is there something like integrity or even morality in business, or you just make money?
I only fuse my mind to should I say like legal and illegal.
Okay.
That's it. Morality is being defined by a religion. Some people say it's immoral for you to eat pork. Some people say otherwise. So morally, it's being, should I say like a moral value is based on what you believe in. And you cannot use that to start a business. What I'm concerned about, is it legal or is it illegal? If it's a legal business, you have my support. If an illegal business, I will report it.
Okay.
Strongly.
I get that. Reminds me of a statement Chairman Untold said. The difference between legal and illegal is a paper. That's by the way. Now I want to talk about, thank you for sharing all those personal life stories with me. Now the business. How did MCB start?
I started as a field photographer.
As a field photographer? A field? You failed at it? Why? How did you fail?
Big time. I failed because I wasn't able to learn fast on the job. Not with the work, the editing, the good millionaires of the work, but handling of clients, handling of tasks, doing a lot of stuff. So I feel it from that side. And that is where I saw it. I know this is not my calling. This can never be my calling. And I have bought into the school of thought that speaks about making things work for you. You not having to be involved in things that work for you. So I'm like, why don't I step aside and look at things that I can make them work for me? And that has been my philosophy about life and about business. So whatever I try to do now, I'm more concerned about structure than just starting it. If I go back to some of my works that I did, even up to today, I'm so proud of them. But I had a weak structure. I couldn't satisfy people. I couldn't go on to my part of the deal. I couldn't go and shoot, and I would owe them 2 weeks, but I'm unable to finish by 2 weeks. I actually couldn't communicate because it's not about me. At times, I'm not even in the country. I'm far away. I don't have my PC. I can't work. I'm like, no, this is not me. I struggled a lot, and I had to admit and accept and answer fundamental. I'm like, no, this is not me. So I stopped. And it was so sad. Because when I was starting, people spoke against it. My mom spoke against it. My dad spoke against it. My auntie spoke against it. So I was very concerned about what they are going to think now. That I chose to learn in NSS to be a photographer. And now I have failed. So what did it do? How then do I make a good turn out of it? One evening I was going to Accra Mall to meet my friends, Akpabey, Exo. I met him like not long ago. So we were hanging out at Accra Mall often with one gentleman called Lucas, STMJ. If he hears his name, he would understand. We often hung up at Accra Mall when the pizza thing was going on. The buy one, get like one free on Tuesdays, the terrific Tuesday. So we hung out and talking. So I opened and then Akpabey told me, bro, I have a shoot. Can I get your lens? Sure. He goes to come back and like, go, I have a shoot again. Can I enter your lens? Wow. Interesting. Then on the third day, I saw a billboard at Joel, the Fiesta Hotel. Adjacent it. CJ with a drone. 500 Ghana. Phantom 30. Oh, makes sense. And I checked online for a drone how much it cost. It was 1,600. Like, whoa, oh my God. So if I could get 1,600 drone, in 3 days I should get 1,500 out of it. And guess what? I bought my first drone and first order, it crashed.
You're serious?
I'm 10 serious.
First order as in, well, first given out to somebody else, it crashed. Is that why you have a policy when you're giving out a drone, you give it, I've seen, I was trying to rent a drone one time, I said, it comes with a pilot.
If I tell you that I don't own a drone, though that I have a drone, would you believe me? Do Uber own the cars? Do we get like the commission on the cars? On the rides. So same with drones now. So I don't own a drone. You see, it's more than just MCB. It's not a structure that we have built.
Wow. Let me not cut your story. Continue with, you see the drone, 1,006.
So I bought a first drone. I give it out. It got crashed from a very matured man. And it was very sad. We went back and forth, and it didn't work. So I slowed down on the drone. It was a sad time because it took me back because that time I had saved like 1,600 to buy a first gun, and then just from first time now it has gone down. So all right, okay, I'll still go ahead, but I have to be very careful.
So the drone crashes and what happens?
I mean, I had a big like setback, but I was like, nah, let me change the dynamics of the work. Since a drone can easily crash and I get a lens to create for like 2 times and it's so intact, and why don't I focus on the like cameras and lenses? And as at that time, I had a 60D and a 5D Mark IV. Let me take you to the graduation when I was like graduating. After that time, I had a 5D Mark II. And almost all my friends are going to be my client on that day. Since I was part of the shop, like, why then do I have to go and wear gown when I can make a lot of money from that day? So I was like, no, I'm never going to like graduate. Though I had a first class. I mean, when did they even have to say my name in the auditorium? The guys were giving me fans, Jama and all of that. But A.M.A was holding a camera on that side there. When they mentioned my name, like, I was waving, but I couldn't, go and take it by year book. So that day, I made a lot of money because I had a lot of clients. I think on that event, I did good. I was able to send their pictures to them, ASAP, in a space of 3 days here. So I saved a lot and I bought my first Canon 60D for 2,000 Ghana. It came with a 50mm, 2 like batteries and a charger. So then I had 2 cameras, a 50mm and a 24-105. But guess what? Sometime along the line, I saw a post from a gentleman that he's selling a Canon 35mm. I went to his place. He's called Henry, like director Henry. He shoots on Exonina. I went to his place. I was holding 800 Canon, but the item was 1,200. My intentions was to go and learn, pay him. And I'll go and find money, come and pay him, top up and pick up the item. Like he told me to take the item out. But then I should pay him as I agreed. And he was very smart. I think the next couple of days, he called me to come and assist him on the work because I told him I had a Canon 5D Mark II. And as like that time, it was quite...
Yeah, it was a big count.
Yeah, because it was around 2017 thereabout. So he tried to like drag me along so that I don't have an ill thought about escaping him and not paying his money. So he was very smart. I like that. But what actually shocked me was when I bought my first Canon 5D Mark III. I got it for around 7,500. And as at that time, I drove to Quem. I took a bus to Quem with some guy around CP, or I think like around like Bawi, like thereabouts. He's not a photographer, but he had it, and he sold it for me for 7,500 with a 24-105. I was super excited, but guess what? I was holding just 5,000 back cities. And he gave it to me. He even like drove me to the station to pick a car.
We'll get back into the conversation pretty shortly, but let's talk about sneakers. I love sneakers. I wear them almost every day, even to church. You know your drip is never complete if your kicks don't speak. And that's where Dress Up stores come in, the home of fresh quality sneakers that let you step boldly wherever you go. And guess what? They are fully online and they deliver nationwide. So no matter where you are, the heat will reach your doorstep. Just hit them up on WhatsApp 050-538-5697 or call 0249-962 68622. And don't forget to follow them on the gram at Dress Up Sneakers on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. I love their sneakers. I wear them every day. Dress Up Stores. Step boldly.
He do not know me. He doesn't know my house. In fact, as at that time, no one knew me. So if I even change my number, who cares? But then, I told him I'll pay him after some period of time. And guess what? I still paid. In my mind, I was fighting with my conscience. You go take that at 3K, go do something. After all, he no more my house. Wherever he is, I think if you ever see this video, your actions spoke a lot to me, honestly. To trust someone that you don't know and leave 2,000 Ghana in his hands to go when the only thing you had was his phone number was a very big, let's say, like, trust that you put in me. And that alone made me to not even, break his trust. I went to hustle, then I was paying him in bit, like 300, 500, 200, but then the last payment, I was like, nah, I have to go and see and thank him. I went to thank him, and guess what? He gave me a 50 mm 1.4. Oh, 50 mm 1.4, just for me honoring my words. And the last payment, it took a long cut time, maybe because I was having some bit of issue, but I kept on calling, letting him, informing people how come and pay you and all of that. So those are things that they have impacted in me strongly with my integrity. Because I believe that because he was able to give it to me to use and pay me in bit, I was able to work more and pay him faster. If I didn't have that camera, even that 5,000 can just be idle. And I could be unable to work faster to pay him faster. But he put some sort of trust in me, and it ate into my conscience and life. So anytime I'm doing something, I'm very clear about integrity. So even if I'm having any engagement, I'm super clear about integrity, because those are things that build bonds and grow you as a person. So yeah, so starting from there, I had a couple of equipment. I had, I think my first client, Julian like Derry, if I'm right, is at Spintex. You should be around Spintex, but then he came for one item to use a Soto. Yeah, I had my house at Soto. Like I started at Soto, so he was my first client. I saw that okay, it's going on well. In a week I could get like 200 Ghana. In a week, at times 400 and all of that. So I was like, okay, this is going to work. Because as at that time, the NSS was around 559. So if I could get 800, I'm doing way better than NSS people, boom. Because my target then was NSS. We have to match A.M.A. So yeah, so from there, I had to move out of the house because now clients are coming home late. Clients like have high expectations and all of that. So I moved to stay with a friend, at A.M.A. He's called Backless. He's now focus shot it. He's also a very great guy, photographer, great guy. So we stayed together at A.M.A. until like 25. I was still blessed to have clients who could come all the way there, who could meet me around A.M.A. Tokut area there. I had Dixon, Nkong, based now at the CYC.
Which, Kwesi Dixon.
Dixon, yeah. He has been a blessing to me. Those type of clients who would just come and pick up an item, and if he assesses the stress you have gone through, you just say G20, no, G30, G50. And those times it was very huge for me. I could take bike, rush from Accra, or come and attend to him. At time he was at A.M.A inside. I could take bike and go there and attend to him. So from the start, it was more like a personal affair. Whoever rent, I take him. I handle him like personally. So from time I had to move to Spintex to start my own thing. Now I was in my own space. So it was time for us to go as well. So, Spintex, and it started the mainstream stars. The social media engagement, people are now aware about us. People come to Spintex to pick up items and all of that. And that times, we were blessed to meet NK. NK Photo Kiosk is at A.M.A. Very impactful gentleman. He blessed our life so much. He could give me a 60 and tell me to pay in like months or weeks. All those things were building us up. I think Opoti played a key role as well, and some key people. So the growth has been all about people supporting, we being truthful to the cause, and we being eager to grow as well. So this journey has been a very brilliant one.
I'm very encouraged by it, and the whole fact that you are starting out. And I think, it feels a lot more special and transforming when somebody doesn't know you but gives you an opportunity. And for me, one of the things I always tell people is that, look, when somebody gives you an opportunity and they trust you enough, don't let them down. Because you may be a bad experience for them not to help another person, having integrity and all of that. Now, at what point did you start involving other people, building a team, employees and all of that?
Okay, so I told you about my long-standing journey with Echo. Remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
MIS.
MIS.
Yeah, we have done this thing together way back. So, I called on him. He was almost through with school. I'm like, yo, Charlie, what's up? I've started this thing, right? But I have a plan for you. Since I was doing the rounds, meeting clients at places and all of that, why don't you come on board and come and handle that so that I will be stationed in the office and then attend to them? I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense. So on vacation, he came around Spintex and I involved him. He was very open-minded. So I'm like, okay, why don't we do this thing and then do it big? So you will charge them if you take the items to them. So you record Echo rounds, Echo and errands. So Echo rounds. Yeah. And I'm like, hey man, that's so smart. I'm like, yeah, Echo rounds go make sense. So then Echo would say to trotro, back and forth, meet clients, click coffee, meet, a whole lot of clients. I'm like, okay. So I had time to be at the house, office, however it is. Those who knows, yeah. So those who knows. So I was stationed at home attending to the others. Some who would send Uber to pick up, some would also come there to pick up and all of that. And aside that, in the evenings, we will go and sit or end our day at Accra Mall, like KFC. So we take almost all our stocks over there, and then people come and pick up. And those who are there to come and drop off, so that you don't have to stress and go to Spintex, all up. So from Echo, so I didn't employ Echo. He was helping with something. So he also had his own something as Echo. But you see, we are like family. So he also helps in and all of that. And then I was like, okay, so now we have to look at how to grow. I have a brother who's also good with fixing like IT stuff, like laptops, phones, and stuff. I'm like, yo, come around. And I think good thing was that he had to do an NSS around Spintex, and he's staying at Sultum, so it's closer to come and stay with me and go to Spintex. And go to work. So I'm like, bro, since you are good at fixing, why don't you experiment on these two items, the 50 mm or something, and see if you can learn it, because this scope of work has a good chance. So we're like, okay, sure. So he also started to fix, and he started, and he tried one, it worked. He kept on trying, and now he's also big. He's still under our scope, but he's also big now. Yeah. So from there, Echo had a friend, Oliver. We also tried to, he was staying far from Accra, so he needed a place in Accra to stay. I'm like, oh, of course, come home. He came home and he was also helping. So all those helping were like, could I say, like a casual ones, not like, employment kind of thing. So from Spintex, we had to go now. So we moved to Tabora number 1. I think at the back of Carter Hostel. Yeah. I've been there before. You've been there? Oh, yeah. Nice. So you know that history. So that was the very first time I employed someone who is called Dave. He was my colleague in school, and he was at some stage in his own life that he just wished to be involved in something. And he was my first ever employee. Employee. He was very good, talented, skilled, sharp guy, brilliant guy. And when he came, I think a couple of months after, he had to fly to the US. So, but then after he came, I also employed a lady called like Deborah Assi, very beautiful young girl. After that, I think now, since we had employed people now, so we had to now formally employ Oliver as well. And then Echo is still doing his Echo round and stuff. So yeah, I think along that time, and he bought his first bike. Yeah, I remember. So fast forward, we had about 3 employees. Davis, Asim, and Oliver, full-time employee. So that was around 2021. Yeah, like thereabout. Oh. Yeah, I think, around 2021, we did our first trip as employees. Had to go to Adana and cool off and all of that. It was nice. And from there, some had to fly, some have to do this and all of that. So we had to now be employing people. We employed Emmanuel and a couple of them. But then we moved to our old place, Tabora number 5, around the Bolasu Choba. That is a place that we actually employed. Started a full-scale business. We had people coming, a lot of them. So from that side is when we were, noticed as a real-time business. Yeah.
So what then? You had to now register the business, or you registered it a long time ago?
No. That is the time I had to start. Yeah.
Then so now you have to also operate as HR, because you have people. So you have to base salary.
I see now. It's the net salary, Senate, and all of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did we end up here?
Let me see. This place has a really tough story. The scope of me here came in a flash. People came around, passed the comment, bro, you have outgrown here. You have outgrown here. I think from our third comment, I just picked it up. I'm like, okay, fine. Let me go and look for a place and buy, not to rent again. Buy. and do our own thing. So from 2022, we started hunting for a place. First idea was to first of all buy our old place and then expand it, own it and do our own stuff over there. But we offered a deal to the owner of the house and then he turned it down. So we didn't have a choice than to now go and look for a place now. So fast forward, we were hunting for houses around and then God blessed us with this place. The good part was that it was even a way cheaper option as compared to what we were trying to offer the landlord at our old place. So I think like God did so much for us on that side. So for this place, it was a complete house, a 6-bedroom house with tiled floors, everything here, but it didn't sit down well with our plans and our ideas. So we had to take a 1.5 year intention to reconstruct it into our own space. So whatever you're sitting on now has been like less than 2 years. I think 2 years is just this month that we bought it. And here we are. We are still not done, but then we are still on course.
Was it a factory? It was a house. It's a house. So, but you're building it with a mind. So the first time I entered it, I'm like, oh, how did they find this old factory?
It's not an old factory. So whatever you are sitting on here was a floor, a compound. Okay, like concrete, full compound. So from the wall here to all of this side was all a concrete compound. So the wall that you are standing by is just the house. Okay. So it was a 6-bedroom house. I think I'll share some of the old video so you can see. It was a complete house. Even when we had to touch it, I had a lot of mind. I was like, nah. Because it had everything, the wires, the cables, the plumbing was all done, but it didn't fit into what we wished for. So we had to really readjust it again. So we had to break some down, put in like killers and all of that. And you see, one of our main struggle was we tried to consult an architect, but they actually couldn't understand what we tried to do. The plan was a sketchy plan. And when we explain it to them, oh, I get it. He goes and he sends a word and it's totally off from what we had bid on or what we intend to. So I didn't have a choice than to learn how to be an architect and then draw my own plan and print it and come to site with it. So when we even started the blog works and then people now understood the plan and now was able to form a whole like structural plan for us to go and seek for like permits and all of that. But if not, we would have struggled. Let's be very honest, we would have struggled.
Big shout out to Madu for always making sure I look sharp on TV. Listen, fashion is not just about clothes, it's about presence. And with Madu, you don't just wear any outfit, you show up with confidence. Whether it's a clean kaftan for that classic vibe, for that wedding, or a fresh shirt for everyday style, or shorts and pants that give you comfort with a touch of elegance. Madu, of course, makes you stand out in the crowd. They're right here at Sprinters at Dogona, and they're just a call away. 0244 091 525. You can also check them out on Instagram, Facebook at Madu GH. And so if you want to switch your wardrobe or step out differently with a statement, then you know who to call. Madu. Let's get back into our conversation.
I'm leaning in on this one because I'm learning. Why did you then decide to shift it from a rental service? You were just renting camera. Of course, the Ballers place had a little core-ish that was used for a photo studio. You know, I told you our first episode was shot there with 1,000. Then shifting from that rental to now build a multi-studio space, because this is Studio 2, you have Studio 1, and one of the studios I cannot wait to see, you have a studio upstairs, the bigger one at the back. When I think of a place where probably you can drive in with a car to shoot a music video, because the space is very big. You have railings at the top where you can hang lights and all of that. What shifted you from now moving it from just an equipment rental to now adding a studio to it and all of that?
So with the studio, we were supposed to host an event for Sunny Alpha. We struggled to get a studio because a lot of them was understand that, no offense, but then we were hoping to get more for whatever we were paying for. But then we found out that there was huge challenge. So out of that experience, we had no choice than to also own our common studio. And whatever lead us now is to offer a better experience, a better experience. So if you go to, through our structural plan, we have a VIP lounge as well, whereby stars do not just have to mingle with the ordinaries. They have, a separate space that they can feel comfortable, trim their hair, sleep, eat, have their meal, take a bath, play their game, smoke, drink their alcohol, be who they tend to be. So it's a whole VIP lounge, which is going to offer them that experience. Aside that too, we also have, countless studios, because we found out that a lot of times clients come in, crash at our old place. So we're no, if we are doing a studio, we should do a couple of them so that they can have the, so that's a seamless effort to just come around and come and create their content, shoot their shot, and that's it.
So the first day I came, I tried to do a tour of the place. With Bello, checked out there. Because I'd seen that we have moved. You guys posted it, we've moved. And I was just, most of the videos were just showing the reception area. When I saw a very cool place, and I come, I see Studio 1, and I see Studio 2, and I enter and I see this cyclorama wall. And it was a big deal for me because I intend to build something like this. And let's be honest, there are not a lot of this in Ghana. Very few studios have a cyclorama. So when I came, I was thinking about it. How did you do it? Did they try and get a mason to, how did you get the cares? So you had to take Bello to educate me that you eventually had to deploy another technology, which is the POP guys. And I promise, in as much as the place is still being developed and other studios are still in works, I think for me, when I saw this place, it more because I knew you already renting equipment. I'm like, these guys are serious. Why do you decide to include this as part of your studios?
We are just psyched up for trying to offer quality service and experience. Trust me. It was actually based on the idea of the studio. That's why we even had to create or do construction. If not, we had a 6-bedroom house complete that we can just do some few changes, lay some tiles, paint it, and we are good to go. But we were zoomed in trying to offer a better studio service in Ghana here. Not just about the location, but the varieties. You have vast options to choose from. You are not just coming to a place and coming full stranded. No. Even when you're working and then you need to shoot, we have other options out there for you to shoot. If you have to create, you have a space big enough that has a high ceiling, has a rig. It's also sponsored by Aperture with all the lighting that you need over there. You have the equipment to create as well. Those are things that we were driving towards. Okay, and we found out that we lack a lot in Ghana. If it comes with, the whole creative space here, and as a leading phase of this industry, we are trying to do best in offering that quality for customers to have the endless mindset to create endlessly.
Wow, I like that. My mom has this proverb. She says, "Kwanchen adie fe, yedisi kaneto." because I'm also a little bit in the creative space and work as a director. I work as a director with Joy News and all of that. And so I know gear is expensive. Building up the studio is expensive. How have you, of course, having a team of people you pay every month, salary, isn't it? I'm sure a few times you may even go beyond the salary because these are people who are almost like family. There are other things they need to take care of. You may have to sort them out, meet them halfway. How much, maybe not necessarily the raw figure, but how much has gone into MCB Studios?
We lost count of it because it was scary at a point. It was really scary. And the more we kept on summing up, the more we faced the challenges with how scary it is. Whatever I projected and whatever we did is with you. It's just a two like different thing. If I projected 2 million Ghana cedis, where we are is about times 2 of it. And how we were even able to do it, I still do not know.
Because you didn't do loans from a bank.
We didn't do loans, but then we had friends who were very supportive. I have a good friend, Prince Afa, who did so well. He helped us when he made it. And see, at that time, you had a company that needs gears. You have to be buying more gears for the company. You have to be improving on the gears over there as well. You cannot just leave the company and come and focus all your incomes here. You will collapse the company. So we had to run this thing simultaneously. If you don't know me, you will know that I have some cars, or I used to have some cars, but there was a need for us to sacrifice on some stuffs, sell some things off to put it here, make some huge sounds from like some castles and put it here, so that at least we are able to achieve the dream together. Like I said earlier, the work should speak ahead of me. And for you to pass such a great compliment, it's pleasant to hear. But the whole thing is, we are not done. Whatever is here is just by 40% of what we plan to do.
Where does the hunger come from? Why, Charlie, we catch, like, bro, we up there, we make it.
The hunger comes from the zeal to serve people better and solve a problem better, and not just offer a mediocre kind of a solution to people. That is where the hunger comes from. If you are following me, you will know that I was on a tour to China and Europe, trying to bridge the gap. I've opened a studio. It's a talking town. I have a leading business in this case. Why then do I still have the say to serve people better, try to bridge in the gaps? It's because of I believe that we are not just making money. We are trying to leave a legacy that is going to speak for us and open doors for our next generation. This is why we do what we have to do.
I like the mindset behind it. And I want to talk about a little bit about the team. Of course, now it's grown. You have workers and they look up to you as the leader. What have you had to do? And in fact, one of the dangerous things as a leader is when you've not grown your capacity to be able to manage at a certain level. And so you have people quitting certain companies because even the workers feel they are a better leader than the guy at the top. How have you managed to keep growing as a leader and not collapse this company? Because guess what? There's a shocking statistic that proves that a lot of businesses don't fail. In fact, we always think that when you are coming up, that is the most toughest. What is, in fact, a lot more tougher is sustaining and still being relevant. And so a lot of business collapse at their peak. How have you prepared yourself for this peak that you are in?
So, let me give you this whole philosophy about a vehicle. If a vehicle has to move, it needs an engine, it needs a tire, it needs a body to offer like safety, it needs an oil to even operate in it. It needs like a steering to drive it. As a leader, I am behind the steerings. But trust me. If there's no engine, even if I steer, it isn't going to make sense. If there's no tire, if the engine sparks on, how do we move? If there's nobody, how do people feel safe in it? So I cannot just lead. I build like leaders who are going to hold forth the engine, the oil, the tire, the body, so that I will be able to steer the car to the destination that we have to go. I can never ever oversee how the engine operates whilst I drive. So I have to build the capacity of the engine to be able to work flawlessly whilst I steer. Equally, I have to check the tires to know that they are at a good pumping stage, that they can blow over continuously and not have any issues. Same way, if there is a leakage on the body, I have to ensure that it's closed and sealed so that when we face the storm, we are not going to experience flood. And this is how I lead. I don't just lead by driving. I lead by ensuring that every leader who is playing a key role has built that capacity to play that role.
We'll get back into the conversation pretty shortly, but let's talk about perfumes. Nothing speaks louder than how you smell, the scent you're wearing. And you know when you step in a room, you must be different from the crowd. And that's what Perfume Essential does for you. They've got everything you need, from undiluted perfume oils that last all day to designer perfumes to body splashes. And they even have diffusers to keep your space smelling very fresh. But guess what? This is luxury at a super affordable amount. And here's where to find them: on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook as well, at the Perfume Essential. The name is the Perfume Essential. Or just hit them up on 0541 470 039. Wholesale and retail, they've got you. Let's go back into our conversation.
You know what you're doing, and it's impressive to see somebody lead. I met a young CEO recently, 25-year-old guy. He owns 4 of the top restaurants at the Accra Mall. He's looking at moving to West Hills. Top guy, but very young guy. And before he's the CEO. Before he took over as the new CEO, one of the issues that the company has been experiencing as a restaurant, I didn't even know this, was thefts. So if £1 was supposed to be used for a pizza, some of you know, per the records, it showed that people were using £3 for pizza. In actual sense, they were using the same £1, but £2 were getting missing. And so when he came in, one of the things he had to do to change the direction of the company was to fire some people. What is perhaps one of the most difficult decisions you've had to make as a leader?
I don't make any difficult one. I put the company first. That is it. Every decision that I'm taking is never difficult for me. To be very honest, My people know that if I fail to lead, I am to step aside.
Oh,
That's it.
really?
Yeah.
Even though you built it brick by brick.
I am to step aside if I fail to lead well. So if McBernard can step aside, how much more the employees?
Oh,
So I don't face any issue by sacking.
you've had to sack somebody before?
Oh, I sack a lot.
You don't think about the fact that they have to put food on their table, there are other people's, there are no jobs.
That is the whole interesting part. I'm thinking about the opportunity you are collapsing for the next 10 people to have the same food on their table. I'm never thinking about you. Because if I think about you and wait to feed you, and you are going to still collapse the business, which is going to block the chance to impact about 10 people if you do your things right. Same way as me. Listen, we had one laptop that we put it out there to rent when clients comes for it, and I am using it. You can ask my employees. I rush and bring it to the client to use because the interest of the company has supersedes every single thing, including my interests. So the interest of the company is key because when the company is growing, it grows and it affects all of us. We are here today. We are not going to be here tomorrow. We have to be in a better place tomorrow. And we can only get to the better place tomorrow when the person in charge of the engine is doing the work, the tire is doing the work, the body is doing the work, and then the person who happens to steer the car is also doing the work which has to be made. So if I'm steering and I am not steering well, I have every right to step aside for someone who can steer or to steer. Because at the end of the day, we have to get to that destination to be better within ourselves and in our life. And we use some pray for people. We are employing over 30 people now. Imagine what could come off in the next 2 years. We could employ 80 people. This shows that when we are all doing the right things, we are going to create a better impact and a better opportunity for people. Hence, I do not have to feel sentimental about your inactions just because of you have to put food on the table. How about you closing up the opportunity for 10 people to be enrolled or to have the chance to also put food on the table for their family? That is way bigger than you and than me.
Who do you learn from? Who do you listen to?
I learn from my schoolmates. That is the funny truth. I learn from the intentionality of our life. And that is the honest thing. If I tell you that I learn from Salpa, I'll lie to you. And the most interesting thing is, when I go to listen to someone, I am judging myself with what I know. And I am marking myself. And funny how a lot of it takes. And I'm like, okay, so what is there about life? Why are we even going to schools and all of that? But you see, I believe in you being like critical. You being intentional. I spoke to someone a few days ago. It was like, I am going to wait for them to call me to come and do a delivery. before I come to you. I'm like, okay, then I think then my company should also close down to a client comes to knock or call us to place an order. Because if you don't see the intentionality of you being up in the morning and taking a bath and eating and starting your bike and coming to office, just so that when you have an order, you can easily pick it up and go. And then you have to wait for a call to come in for that a client needs you to bring an item to him. How about if when we call you, you are now about to eat and leave your house and come here? How about that? You waste track of the time. Instead, wake up, get to office by 8 o'clock. Though I am not employing you, but you want to work with us, you have to be here by 8 o'clock. If you are not going to come, communicate to us that you are not going to come. So that when a client calls us that he needs a biker, we don't have to now come out and come and see, oh, he isn't there. And so now we go and inform client, he say, oh, sorry, our biker isn't available. So you have to be intentional about that and committed to it. If I say this thing a lot, that if like life is a joke, if a thief comes to your house, you have to offer him a check and serve him food for him to eat. After that, please take order you can and go. But obra and agro intentionality.
Wow. McBernard, I've got to be honest with you. I think I could have 10 hours conversations with you. I could listen to you all day. Because I believe success is very simple. Find somebody who has done it. Be humble enough to understudy the principles. Be diligent enough to execute those same principles. You cannot even be a Christian. You don't even need to be a whatever. You can be from the poorest of backgrounds. And if you execute those principles, you may likely get the same results or similar results. And there is no doubt with what you are doing. You're very focused. You're very intentional. And on our podcast, we are not one of those podcasts where we let people know how we feel about them. I don't believe in celebrating people behind their back. I'd never met you before until this episode thing came about.
You went to follow me on Instagram.
And it's been a very wonderful conversation. But we've had some light note questions. I don't need you to think for long, very fast-paced. You're a smart boy, so Charlie, I trust you. What's your very first camera equipment you mentioned it?
A Nikon D3200.
Yeah, I used a D3200 before.
And funny how I got it. I'll tell you, I bought it for 900 Ghana cedis. I was on campus then, so I took a car from a formula to go and buy it. After I put it, apparently I don't have money again left. And I called them back, but I walked to Accra. Charlie from Pentecost University, Lesotho, walked to Accra. Oh, mine is not those stories. I started plus one egg, one. Now you have a body farmer. My phone, I can show you where I use, like strategic things I use. I used the Lominaba, and I entered to like Mount 7, through like Tabora, triple, and I entered. I used through like Contradeals, and I entered Achimota. I used the overpass, the one going to the CP road. I got there and big man. And you see, because of the excitement of me owning a camera, so I was on street holding in it. So I was just going. I got to Accra and I have, I think, 1 Ghana and 20 pesos. So we took a car to Accra because I knew that if I take a car from the La Paz to Accra or to campus, I'll pay around 1 Ghana 80 pesos. But Accra to campus was 80 pesos, so I still had around 40 pesos left. And guess what? I go to school now and I had a client for my MIS.
Wow.
for a short period. So
Charlie, what's one phrase your team hears you say every single time? Sean the Fool. If MCB was a movie genre, what movie would it be and why?
action. Bro, yeah. Bro, yeah, the accent. Pure accent. Because you see, I have been told you this thing about this place. Big man. We built it, we had to break it down. A.M.A. had to break it down.
Oh,
God, they said that it's so you see there was a miscommunication because it's an old house, and then because we don't intend to have a wall around it, so we tried to build it closer to the edge of the wall, and there was an old wall of the house, so they took a picture and took it to their office. So the DCE then thought that we had built the structure on an old wall, and the structure is supposed to go 3 floors. So how do you? And we're like, and he was talking, he was so angry. And from the picture, see, you are going to think same way. He was angry, ranting, and I'm like, Chief, relax. But the house is not on the wall. Check it well, like it. But Ansana, we could convince him. His people have come to clear the place, so we had to break down the place and shift it in about 4 feet more, and then I put it up.
wow.
I had to fix sand, stones up there. See, I was part of the construction because we were doing like by day, and by day, if you don't stand on them, a lot of things are going to go wrong.
Did you struggle with landguards?
No, you can't intimidate me.
But it is some.
They came. I was tensioning them. You can never intimidate me. I've learned so much. I know that I have to pay like digging fee. Once I've paid it, I don't pay it 2 times. I don't pay it 3 times. I don't pay it 4 times. You come to me, I tell you that I've paid it. Go to email and go and fight for yours. You can't intimidate me.
So were there times they would stop the work and how?
You don't dare stop. You stop it, I come and then I have a problem. I'm in class C. No, like landguards cannot. No, they can never intimidate me. I'm saying this thing on a fact. Lands have laws. Learn the laws. Lands are owned by the indigenous of the place. Yes, but it has been leased. So by that time, you own it. Whatever construction you are going to do on it, you have to do a customary seed or so, which you are supposed to do once. If you pay it to anyone and there is an issue, you connect them both to handle it. At the end of it all, if you had come here from the onset as the actual person who I'm supposed to pay it to, you are doing your work well, then when I came to take, you are supposed to be here to take it. So I don't have to pay you twice.
Did you ever get death threats that one year you be to try like boys?
No, you dare not. I am not strong. I will be very honest. I am not strong, but I'm very strategic. You are never going to see me throwing hands or having, but I'm very strategic. I would intimidate you and sound like you intimidate me. Yeah. Okay. And I'm saying it for a fact. They can never intimidate.
That's to suggest they're still intimidating you.
No, I see. Do you know Ablekuma?
Yeah.
If I could build a house there, and Achimota. If I could build the house at Ablekuma, and Achimota.
If you weren't running MCB Studios, what do you think you'd probably be doing right now?
I'll be at the World Bank.
World Bank?
I was the best accounting student in Ghana.
Wow.
In 2013, right? Year 2013. So, yeah, there was, I had around I had around 98.5.
Wow.
Yeah. I was sent a mail.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And sorry, it's illegal though, but I answered my own in about an hour and a half, and then the extra was just helping people because, accounting was tough for the girls. So I was, even one girl still like calls and thanks me because she's now at banks, and then, yeah, funny now, but then I've coming. Here I am.
Charlie, you're still very good. I got you, bro. Who's one creative in Ghana you love to collaborate with? I mean, you've had international collaboration. Even when you were opening here, Sony was here, Road Mike were here. Who's one creative? Maybe not necessarily in Ghana, in the world, you probably love to cook some rice with.
DJI.
DJI.
I love how pompous they are.
Yeah.
I love.
Have you made any attempts to...
They're very pompous. Very pompous.
Did I brand?
I have experienced. You know how brands are open, open? They are closed. There is one TikToker who has over millions of, followers, who has been dragging DJI to sponsor him. And you see funny thing, and people are commenting, dragging DJI, but the vigilant can open their eyes. And that is the kind of I think they have positioned themselves in a way that whatever you want, you definitely need them. If not by like gimbal, by drone, it could be by audio mic, it could be
Vlogging cameras.
Yeah, by like transmit. See,
they're smart.
very smart.
What's one misconception people have about running MCB?
They think our items are faulty and used. I mean, it's too old and stuff.
Really? I don't want to mention another brand. In fact, the reason why I started renting from you guys was because I was experiencing a brand that when I go, I see the car, like, these guys are jokes.
So those people who think that way, I urge you to come back. I dare you to dare us to come to pick up an item and you will get a faulty item. And even if it happens, let's see how we are able to safely attend to you.
That's good customer care. Yeah. I've noticed you guys have restocked with newer gears,
Charlie, crazy stuff.
What song instantly puts you in a creative mode? You are always listening to something.
Yeah, I am a fan of Stoneboy. From like last night, I started jamming to Stay Woke. For sure, Coco. You see, we stay woke. We don't play. We are always intentional about life. So we don't play. We live every moment like it's the last one. So why then do I play?
Oh, solid guy. Maybe this will probably be the last one. If you had an advice to give a young creative starting out, who's props? Probably not the photographer's landlord, but the photographer's tenant. And they don't have the best of gear. They just have one Nikon D3200 somewhere. And they want to be great. What's an advice you probably think can change your life?
You can never be great when you try to outsmart the system. We can be smart in life, but don't try to outsmart. There is so much peace in being very diligent, holding on to your integrity and being focused about value, not about money. These are some key things that people easily forget.
There's a system, value over money, integrity. Bernard, I want to say thank you. In fact, if I tell you the list of questions I have, maybe I'm halfway through. But of course, maybe we'll have to do a part 2 some other day, a couple of years later, when the other side of the studio.
Yeah.
And so we'll change the set. But I just want to say thank you. for. So guys, if you've seen this episode, you just have to know that every gear, lights, sets, chair, everything was fully provided by McBernard and his team. All we just had to do was just come with questions, and it's been a worthwhile conversation. And I end with this one. Why did you grant me the interview?
This is the question I've been really asking because, I've actually tendered a lot of interviews. A lot of interviews. I think with you, Belus did a part of it for you because I had no interest in sit in and interview. I had a plan to unleash myself out there. But Belus spoke in for you, and the fact that you started from our studio was what I felt like this is a person that has contributed to us. So I also have to contribute to him as well. And this is also the first time I'm ever telling my story because I don't have a story out there. I love to have my business story out there. So, it was more like me trying to appreciate you sticking with that even at a very lower level and growing together. And also with the persistence you put in and consistency, you were on my neck. I'm like, I just have to do it, bro. And I think it's finally time that I put myself out there and put back in the life of the younger ones because now I'm open to impartation. I'm open to clearly then use my influence to not just push a campaign, but then to drive a change in the life of in the key industry folks here in Ghana.
Thank you, McBernard. I'm grateful.
Thank you.
It's been Top Milk Quick Rice with me, Derek, and I appreciate the team for everything it's had to take to pull off this episode. And to your team as well, being extremely kind with us with the gadgets, the gear, your patience. Even there was a little inconvenience the day before and all of that, but sorted it out and I'm grateful. Thank you.
And thank you to you.
Looking forward to bigger partnerships.
And also thank you to Sonny as well for sponsoring you guys with the Sonny Gears.
Yeah. I'm cool. When they want to sponsor my pop, but mine they like something.
All right. Thank you. So I'll put in a word for you then.